Bring in more revenue while saving money and differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack vying to win those guests by becoming more environmentally friendly. We will show you how easy it is and how cheap it can be, if not free, and share all the opportunities available. So join us each week as we take another step along the green path. That's one more step to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Green Path podcast. We hear about sustainable cleaning products, bathroom products, refillable bottles, things that you should be thinking of using in your rentals. And does the thought ever cross your mind about where to store all of this stuff? Do you have the place? How easy is it to coordinate it with your cleaners for them to use? Today's guest has that problem all sorted for you. And no, we're not talking about the cleaning products. Well, we actually are, not the ones you're thinking of. Today, we're discovering about a cleaning product in your hand. Today, my guest is Matt from Composty. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hello, Deborah. I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for your time today to join me.
Thanks for asking me to come along. I'm really excited.
Yeah, great. Now, Matt, I always like to start off with the guest and their own journey. At what point did you start on your own green journey?
Okay, so I think it's probably important to say to start with, we're a husband and wife team, and we were sort of, Composty was born out of that. Our brand was born out of that, really. Our first child was born in 2016, and I think you kind of look at your own actions all the time and how that's impacting upon your children and so on, and that included what we're doing to the planet and how we're helping to keep that, you know, preserved and as nice or even repaired as we can for the kids that are growing in the next generation. So we started then really looking about our own actions and what we were doing and what we could improve. And it was, you know, simple, cheap things, going for a walk or a cycle instead of taking the car and so on. And we thought we'll tackle the kitchen first. We'd read a lot into it and I said, let's do a little bit. Don't do everything at once. Small steps is the way to go. So we started in the kitchen and we were buying things that were labelled as biodegradable and compostable and all that kind of stuff. And I think a lot of people have had this problem. They were either no good, ineffective, lasted moments before they were ruined, or, and this was my real bugbear, they'd come wrapped in plastic, plastic packaging and so on. So yeah, that was our first sort of our starting point really, was having children. We've got 4 kids now, so we didn't learn our lesson. But yeah, so really we are just trying to, as a family, do what we can for the planet, for our kids and everyone else's.
Yeah, and this is actually quite a common response. It seems to be this is the new wave, the people that are having kids thinking, okay, what sort of planet are we going to leave our kids? And it's inspiring them to do something. Yeah. Okay, so can you tell us, what does Composty do? What does it offer?
Okay, so our brand is about compostable, purely compostable packaging and product, sponges and cloths. So at the moment, we've got sort of 3 main products that we do. We started off with, if you'd like me to run through the products real quickly, I have some props. Our pop-up sponges. You will have heard of these. That is a sponge. I know it doesn't look that like it at the moment.
Yeah.
But this, of course, has some space-saving benefits. I've just got something I could grab, a pint of water here. And you take your packaging off and just pop it into the water. Just dip it in there. Everyone has a different technique for this part. So there, and you'll just see it started to expand. You dunk it right in, you end up with, in seconds, a sort of full-size sponge. These are really versatile. So you can use those for, you know, your washing up, but also for surfaces and all sorts of jobs as well. So that was our first product that we brought out, and it was a hit. We're really surprised actually.
That's actually a really, really great product. Like in the introduction, I was saying about with short-term rentals, you know, you might want to be offering a clean sponge for every guest. And then you think, God, how am I going to store all those sponges? You know, you might get a number of bookings per month. Yeah. Perfect solution.
We sell them in 12 packs as well, and there's 12 sponges in there. So that's just some perspective really for you, how much space they do save.
Yeah. Fantastic. So they're for washing up, cleaning, etc. And the other sponges?
And then the other sponge is our loofah sponge. Now it's the same material. It's cellulose on that side as the pop-up sponge is, but it has a stitched with cotton loofah on the top. And people use loofahs a lot for washing their bodies and such like, and we do have customers that do use it for that. But that just gives you a little bit more of extra scrubbing power, really, with your washing up. And that's a really popular product. I think you've got the fun aspect of those, but then aesthetically, you know, in some sort of luxury STRs, that's a really popular choice.
Do they arrive flat as well, those loofah ones?
These ones don't, no.
Okay.
So these, because of the stitching, they're unable to rinse.
Yeah.
You can stitch them, but then it sort of used up part of the surface area on that. So that's that. Other products, and we also do a Swedish dishcloth, which I've just realised I haven't got right by me, and it's really unprofessional.
Swedish dishcloth.
Hello, here it is. So this is a traditional Swedish recipe. It is 70% cellulose and 30% cotton blend.
Oh, okay.
It looks like paper, cardboard, but it doesn't pop up like the other sponge. But if I just pop it into here, you'll see that it does become, even though I've only just placed in a small amount there, you can see it's a lot more flexible now.
Oh, yeah.
These are super absorbent and again, really versatile. Okay. But the main benefit, and this is what we're doing, we set out to do two things really. I'm just wiping up my spills now. Set out to do two things really. It was to create a product that works, that is sustainable. That solved our problem back in 2016. We'd have loved that. And something that is purely compostable as well. Because
Now, I just wanted to ask, how is it that you came to think about the sponges? I mean, everyone's thinking about the actual cleaning product, the soapy part. Yeah. What made you think about the sponges, and why? I mean, like, how many people actually ever think about the sponge or the cloth that they're using for cleaning? Who knows the life cycle of one of those from beginning to end? What's the story, and why did you end up going down that path?
It's a really interesting question, actually, because naively, I didn't realise what normal sponges are made of. The sponges you buy from the supermarket or even your big brand, they're plastic. Okay, and we didn't know that as a family. We were looking in the kitchen, as I said, and saw that things were biodegradable. Oh, we'll have that, we'll try it. Not realising actually when we looked into it, normal sponges are made of plastic.
Oh wow, yeah.
Scary statistics about it, really. A plastic sponge, just one sponge, again, that you can buy from your supermarket, can take up to 500 years to degrade at landfill. 500 years, one sponge. Now, I know we were throwing them away like nobody's business. Got a bit mucky, people throw them in the bin, don't they? They go wobbly on top, the scarers don't work. Just throw them away. 500 years each.
That's so scary, because I think the last interview I did, they were saying about every single piece of plastic ever made is still around. Yeah. And when you look at it from the dishcloth, you sort of think, okay, the dishes that my mum washed when I was a baby, wow, that sponge is still around. My mum's not around, but that sponge is. Ooh.
Oh yeah. Outlives all of us, and generations and generations.
Generations and generations. The sponge they used to wash the dishes back then are still around, and all the people are gone. Oh, that's awful.
Crazy. And then, I mean, there's that whole thing about them. Yes, they're still around, but they're still causing danger to the environment as well. Yeah. So when they're at landfill, they're giving off methane, so they're decomposing anaerobically. So rather than using the earth or the air, and oxygen to degrade like compostable things will, they give off methane. And methane's proven over a short period of time to be more potent than carbon to the environment. So we all worry about carbon, rightly so, but methane is over a short amount of years, I think something like over 18 years, is more potent than carbon is. So that sponge that your mum was throwing away, not only is still in landfill, it's still harming the environment today.
Weren't they blaming the cows for the methane?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, in fact, all the dishwashing sponges, poor cows getting the blame.
It's true. There's so many things that do contribute to it. It's crazy.
Yeah. So then, okay, you saw the sponges were plastic, and you thought, I like a challenge. Let's make a sponge.
So we spoke to some manufacturers about the technology actually was already out there, but it was used in different industries. A lot of people we show these pop-up sponges too. So I used to have a flannel like that when I was a kid. It got compressed down, you put it in water and it'd come out into a big flannel in the bath. So the technology was kind of there, and we were using it then with cellulose to compress it down into a sponge, really. So we brought this to market without plastic packaging. And it was just, it was a hit. It was really good.
Yeah. Well, it is. It looks like a great the size of the use. So how long? Okay, so if the plastic sponges last for 500 years, I'm sure yours don't. What's the
No.
the use life
Sure.
and then the shelf life?
Absolutely. So we recommend for these, we're looking at about 2 months. Okay. We do every year we're at a show in the UK called the Clean and Tidy Home Show, consumer show. And we have in the previous years been giving these away as samples. The second year we rocked up, same show. Oh, I had one of those off you last year. It's still going. It depends what you use it for. If you
Yeah.
use it in the bathroom, wiping your tiles down and stuff like that, they can last for ages. Okay. They won't compost on the side sitting there. Okay. Need specific conditions for that to happen, and the bacteria and the correct thing. But we recommend 2 months probably in your kitchen that would last for. Once you put it into a good composting environment, then within 3 months it doesn't exist anymore. It's turned back into compost. Put it in your garden. It helps your garden grow. Yeah, so that's the sort of time that we'd be talking about with those. Your loofahs, 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, it's the loofah area probably just takes that away a little bit compared to the cellulose that's on the back, but 4 to 6 weeks for those. 6 months, where you could use these for. In a short-term rental, you probably want to give a new product to every new visitor. In a home environment, put these in the washing machine. They come as good as new, and they will last a long time then. And again, you're looking at about 3 months in the compost for those to go as well.
Those cloths, assuming you are talking about using them for dishes, but you can basically use those cloths for cleaning anywhere in a rental, right? Any, dust and everything. So you could actually arm your cleaners with a whole bunch of these cloths and just keep washing them. And that's that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're great. My wife does this. They're great for damp dusting.
Yeah.
No product. You're not having any sort of harm on the footprint on the environment there. They're fabulous for that, because I don't know if you can see on there, they've got a nice sort of groove texture to them.
Yeah.
You put stuff up and you just rinse it out, the dust disappears, and you're good to go again.
Yeah.
So they're good for that.
Fantastic. Now, the thing is, like you said about the plastic packaging, so the whole life cycle of a composty product is compostable. So can you tell us, how does it all work in terms of the manufacturing, the delivering, the packaging? What's the whole life cycle of a composty product?
Yeah, so everything's ethical. All of our factories are audited. They are, the majority of the products at this point, and this is something we want to work on, but to keep the costs down, they are created in China. Okay, but then they're sea shipped around, which is proven to have a much lower carbon footprint than other methods. And because these are compressed, you're getting a really, really low carbon footprint for what you fit in on those containers. Okay, but all the packaging that they come across to us are in cardboard. Everything we choose to do is green and ethical as well. So yeah, everything's thought through, and I think this is something else that we wanted to do from the start. Make sure that we're not just doing something that's greenwashing. We're not doing something that's saying, "Oh, this is good, but everything else we do is bad, and we don't care about it." We wanted to make sure that we were ethical throughout. We're members with 1% for the Planet as well, so ensure that we give 1% of our, well, we give a bit more to be fair, but 1% of our revenue is going through that process as well.
Yeah. And I saw on your website something about swaps. What are swaps?
So when we're talking about swaps, really, we're talking about swapping out a product that's not good for the planet for something that is, really.
Oh.
So it's just a sustainable swap. So, what you're looking at in your house is, or whatever sort of business you may have, is, in our mind, just making small steps as you go. And you're better making lots of small steps than trying to make wholesale changes. And if the whole population made just one small change, it's better than a few people who try to do it all. So what we talk about are swaps. Just make these little easy swaps, little easy changes to your routines, really. I mean, sponge is an easy thing to do with that, really.
Yeah, and I actually think they're really affordable. A packet of 12 was like €12, and they take up no space. And how does the delivery work then? So do you only supply to the UK? You're UK based, right?
We're UK based. 99% of what we do is in the UK. We are working with some distributors in Europe at the moment and in the USA, or in discussions with, at least, to get that sort of more widespread. We can ship to Europe. We can ship to the States as well, and other places. The only issue then is, of course, the shipping costs.
Yeah.
Many customs that might come into that, but we have had customers in Europe certainly that are using us.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of shipping costs, I mean, it's light, it's
Yeah.
small, it doesn't take up much space. So it's not like you're getting a box delivered. It's quite incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And,
you're right.
even that small package is going to give you a hell of a lot of sponges to keep you going for a while.
That's right. And it's worth mentioning as well, a bit of a plug here. But yeah, you've mentioned 12 euros, €9.99 in the UK. We do have a B2B website as well that short-term rentals can sign up for preferential rates. So to reduce the cost even more, really.
Fantastic. Great. Well, I will put a link for that in the description below. Yes. Was there anything else about composting that we should know about?
Well, I think we've spoken about in terms of, if I want to change it to plastic sponges, we've spoken about one side of the danger of using plastic sponges in that they take 500 years to degrade, they give out methane. But there's another danger with using them as well, which of course is microplastics. They reckon, and there's a new report that's been put out in the last month or so, and this has been evidenced, that each sponge can shed 6.5 million microplastics each, just through washing up and so on. Okay, they're microscopic, you can't see them, but they're washing down your drain. And of course, we used to worry about fish and turtles and so on in terms of another marine life absorbing this, but of course now they're being found in humans as well. Okay, found in the womb, they've been found in fetuses, they've been found in breast milk, in our blood. It's another real widespread problem. And there are contributors to that. Using your washing machine with polyester t-shirts or whatever is going to shed microplastics too.
Yeah.
But sponges are another danger there in terms of contributing to this. So I just wanted to mention that as well, really, just saying it's not just this scary fact about them lasting a long time. It's doing things to our health as well. And we don't really know how we'll cope with that. You know, in generations to come, how is that going to look inside the human?
Wow, I never took that into account. And I never actually thought about kitchen sponges before. Never. I just, I need a new one. And that's it. Go to the supermarket, buy another one. I never crossed my mind to think about sustainability in kitchen sponges. Yeah. Okay, let's...
You don't think they're plastic, do you? Because they're squidgy and they're soft and they've got holes in them. And you just don't think that.
I've got to say, I don't think I've ever spent a second thinking what they're made of.
No.
But now we know.
There you go. Thank
Great.
you.
Well, Matt, it's been fantastic learning about Compostii. Great products. And I will put the links in the description below. Thank you very, very much for your time, Matt. It's been really great.
Thanks for asking me. I love sharing that with everybody. Thank you, Deborah.
Okay, thank you. See you next time.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Are you ready to start on your own Green Path journey? Why not take a look at the Green Step program? This has been tailor-made to take you step by step down the green path. You only see one step at a time, and that's all you focus on. Before you know it, you've gone down the path. To learn more, just head to thegreenpathpodcast.com.